me again, God Moon. Today we're going to be reading another daily devotion of All About God. Now, we stopped at the point where, to pray. I hope you guys did that. Now, this is what I'm going to be reading next. This is chapter 2. And I'm going to read you a verse from the Bible, and it says, it is Job 38 verses 8, 38 verses 8 through 11. It says, or who shut in the sea with doors, and this is in brackets, and, close brackets, said, this far you may come, but no farther. And here you are proud waves. Here your proud waves must stop. And it's in exclamation mark. So, what do you guys think that means? Comments below. Tell me. Anyway. And another verse, Psalm 104, verse 24. How many are your works, O Lord? In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. NIV. Now, this chapter is called God's Footprints. Now, before you start reading, I want you to think. I want you to think about what this chapter is going to be, and I encourage you to stop the video to think. Okay, let's read. God's Footprints. Oh, I didn't know the ocean was so big, exclaimed Sarah, Joshua's cousin. There's nothing like this in Kansas. Hold on. I know we're stopping at a small point in time right now, but this means something big. Just like the sea. Who created that sea? Asking that question, getting you to stop and think about it. Okay, let's continue. Joshua showed Sarah how to build a sandcastle. Soon after they finished, the water began to creep close and nibble the sand away. Look, cried Sarah, the ocean is moving. It's washing away our castle. What's happening? The tide is coming in, explained Joshua. The water always comes in like this at high tide. Will it keep coming? Asked Sarah. Will we all drown? It will stop soon, said Joshua. You can count on it. Sarah started running. Come on, she yelled. Let's get in the car. Just to be sure. If it comes, we'll outrun it. Sarah thinks the ocean will cover the whole land, Joshua told his dad. Do you know why the waters will never do that? Dad asked. No, answered Joshua. I just know they won't do it. The Bible tells us that God pulled the ocean back, Dad explained. He keeps everything in nature going. That's another way we can think of God as being real, because that's a second very good example that he can tell Mike. And so Mike will be able to know that if the tides aren't going to drown us all, there is a God, and he's protecting us all. Let's keep reading. He causes the earth to turn at just the right distance from the sun, too. Can you think of some more things he does? He gives us food and water to drink and eat. Sarah said. Yeah, and the air to breathe, added Joshua. If he wasn't in charge, we'd all die. Hey, that's another reason we know that there is a God. Just as I suspected he would say that. You see, Sarah? I want to show my friend Mike that God is real. Well, I'm glad God is in charge of the ocean, said Sarah, because I can't swim. That's scary. And you'll see soon why it is so scary. And God did a miracle. But that's millions of videos. Just kidding, not millions. Probably 10, maybe. But we'll wait and see. Wait for me, a voice called. It was Mike. I knew I'd find you if I followed your footprints in the sand, he said. How did you know they were ours? Asked Joshua. Because you got funny feet marks on the bottom of your sneakers, Josh. I always know your footprints, replied Mike. Mike, Joshua says that you don't believe there is a God because you can't see him, Joshua's dad said. Did you know that we can see God's footprints on his earth? Mike's mouth fell open. He's surprised because he thinks there is no God, and he can't even see footprints. Like, he's probably thinking in his head, how can there be a God, and how can he be leaving footprints, but we don't even know about the footprints, or what they are, and what they look like. Let's keep reading. His footprints? Where are they? I suspected that. How do you know they're his, Mr. Kendrick? He left his footprints as nature, replied Mr. Kendrick. God made the ocean, sand, trees, the sun, and everything else. That is a pretty good example. Now, I'd like to see what you guys can think about this. They couldn't make themselves. Well, let's stop for a second. If they couldn't make themselves, then people who believe in evolution, well, there's a big question, and that is, if the nature couldn't make itself, what created it? Some people might say God created it, but atheists and evolutionists think that it formulated over billions of years, when the Bible says it only took 7 days. Let's keep reading. We know God is real because he's still taking care of things he made, like keeping the ocean in its place and sending rain and giving us air to breathe, Mr. Kendrick said. Yeah, and the earth and the sun and the moon don't all jump together, added Sarah. God makes them stay put. Now, hold on a minute. People who are really good mathematicians and scientists, they make a claim that planets only stay in orbit because there is a big gravitational pull between the sun and all the other planets. That's how they keep in orbit. But if there were nothing that created the planets, they wouldn't be there. So that means me, you, donuts, coffee shops, everything won't be there. Let's keep reading. We can see God's footprints all through history too, added Mr. Kendrick. He's often worked miracles to help people. Wow, exclaimed Mike. God's footprints. I never thought so much about how our Earth got here, or who takes care of it. Maybe I better learn more about God. Will you help me? Joshua grinned. That's just what he wanted to hear. Now, what we're going to discuss here is why don't the oceans flood the earth? Now, I want you guys to make it in. And I encourage you to pause the video and please, please, please think about it. And maybe send a comment or concern about this video or the answer to this video. And if you have a book all about God, you can help answer these questions with me. And that way, people who are out there will know what they're talking about, what I'm talking about. So, the oceans don't flood the earth because there is a God keeping the oceans in place. Now, if there weren't a God keeping the oceans in place, then that means there wouldn't be the whole earth would still be water. The land wouldn't be there, animals wouldn't be there, just water. Actually, probably just plain darkness in the world. Not even day and night. Not even stars in the sky. Not even a sun. No planets, no nothing. And that's why we have a wonderful God who keeps everything intact. Everything. And I mean everything. So, that's how we know there's a God there. And that's why the earth doesn't get flooded by the water. Next discussion. Why doesn't the moon fall on us? Now, people who are evolutionists and aviators and scientists and mathematicians, they know about strong gravitational pull between the sun and all the other planets. But, let's say if no one created the gravitational pull, or let's say someone created the planets, but there was no gravity. How would the planets stay in the solar system? Well, I'll tell you how. There's a God holding them together. And not together, separately. Some people think that the gravity had created itself. That sounds like a dumb explanation for that, but I don't blame them. They just haven't gotten a chance to meet God yet. And that's pretty sad. But with my videos, they'll be brand new. And all the other Christian videos out there. Let's keep reading. I got off subject. Sorry, guys. What do you think would happen if the Earth got closer to the sun than it is? Well, we'd burn to death. I want to hear your guys' comments, concerns, and answers to this question, to that question. Now, the next one is based on the earlier one, or farther away. We'd probably freeze to death. The sun will be my lamp here. The sun right here. I'll pretend to be the God that's holding the sun. This circle that my hand has made will be Earth. The Earth is about this far away from the sun. Now, if God were holding the sun or the Earth, well, don't you think that nothing will happen? Actually, all the asteroids, which will be my fingers, will fall. Then the Earth will explode, the sun will explode, and then there will be nothing there. But since there's a God there, none of us will explode. Okay. Now, if we were too close to the sun, you see my hand is getting lighter. We'd burn to death. Now, if we were farther away, let's say to where Pluto is, freeze to death. And that's why we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful God holding the planets and keeping us farther away from the planets. Can you think of some other ways God cares for his world? Well, I encourage you to give me your answers in the comments below, and I also encourage you to stop the video, think about it. You don't have to send me comments, it's fine, it's fine. But I'd really like to hear your answers. And these are very important questions. And we're all involved. Next question. Oh, forgot to answer. Well, you can see that from my example about the moon and the earth and the asteroid and all that. Well, God's holding the sun and the other planets. But if you weren't, woo, there would be nothing there. Complete darkness. But thanks to complete darkness. But thanks to God, we got light. We got day, night, and day, night, day, night, day, night, night, day. Okay. So that's a really good example. Now I want to hear your guys' examples. That's my homework for you. Besides praying and doing the actual homework. But if you guys don't want to, that's fine. And the second to last one is, could we live 1 minute without God? Well, let's see. God, if there were no God, we wouldn't have lungs. We wouldn't have a heart. We wouldn't have skin or bones, clothing. Basically, the whole universe wouldn't be there. So I'm guessing not, because without him there would be nothing there. Even if there were an earth already existing, there wouldn't be no heart, lungs, kidney, bladder, anything really. So this is why we have a God. We wouldn't even live 1 second without him. The last one says, now this one I'm not going to answer. I want to hear your suggestions, because this is a one-on-one. This is very important. Is he real? Now, this is a very hard question, and I want to hear your answers because I'm very concerned about this. So, I encourage you to get this book, read a little bit. You can read ahead if you want. But I really encourage you to do these things and really take this into your heart, because this is very important. Now, this is your homework. On a piece of paper, draw a picture of yourself standing between a mountain and the ocean. Place the sun and clouds in the sky. Explain to someone how God takes charge of each thing in your picture to keep you safe and well. Now, I'm going to do that in the next video. I will bring you my picture to show you, but until next time, you won't see it. Anyway, now this is what I want you guys to pray. This is the last thing I'm going to say before my eyes. Thank God that you are alive, because he takes care of everything. Thank him for loving you and caring. Now, before we go, I have one commercial. You may not know this, but I'm a gamer too. So I hope you enjoy my gaming and my Christian thing. And I want to see, and I hope to see you guys later. The Bible.